Today is October 8th. It is 6:32 Eastern Time. The New York Yankees are about 36 minutes away from first pitch in what will be another elimination must-win, do-or-die game for the New York Yankees. It's Game 4 of the American League Division Series. The Toronto Blue Jays lead the series 2-1. On the mound for the Blue Jays is Louis Varland, who will likely be the opener for a bullpen game. And on the mound for the New York Yankees is rookie pitcher Cam Schlittler. Chris, Yankees, Blue Jays, another must-win situation, backs against the wall for the Bronx Bombers. How are you feeling entering today's game?
Really nervous, but really excited. Baseball is so interesting because it feels like every single game you get a chance to rewrite your own narrative. And the last start that Cam Schlittler had, the narrative was future ace. And he's got a chance to either cement that today in terms of people's minds, or some people are going to think it was kind of an outlier performance against a bad Boston lineup. So nervous, excited. I do feel really good with how Aaron Judge is. He seems really locked in right now, and that is really encouraging. But I'm excited about this game, especially given the fact that I feel like Boone managed excellently yesterday, and it set them up for success today with knowing what they've got. So excited, thrilled, but again, really, really nervous. Ryan, how are you?
Well, I said yesterday I wanted to be able to do a show today. I wanted us to have a pregame and a postgame on Wednesday, and we have that. And that's something that was not promised to us entering Wednesday or entering Tuesday. Man, I have all my days mixed up. The Yankees are in a spot where, hey, we can force a Game 5. We just saw the Detroit Tigers force a Game 5, albeit in different circumstances. They initially led the series 1-0, then dropped 2 straight. It's a little bit of a different circumstance, but the Yankees, we talked about needing miracles, needing things to happen that you don't expect to happen. They rolled a lot of excellent outcomes, not only to win Game 3, but to set themselves up to win Game 4. The bullpen's in good shape. You have Cam Schlittler going. The Blue Jays used their bullpen a lot yesterday, and they'll have to use their bullpen a lot today. Chris, Cam Schlittler's on the bump. How does this test compare to his test against the Red Sox, and how do you think he could be successful today?
It's a tougher test, right? Like, this is a team that strikes out far less, that does more damage when they do hit the ball. And this lineup, unlike the Boston Red Sox lineup, is more than, they're not a couple bats short. But for Cam, it does feel like he is a different pitcher now than he was the last time they played Toronto. Now, he struggled against Toronto both times. The 2 worst starts of his career, young career at that, were against Toronto. But right now, he's doing way more tunneling off the fastball. He's locating the high fastball, and he's not trying to get cute with the curveball as much, which I think is a good thing, because when you've got the outlier velo, go use it. So, this for him, look, this is a kid that wants it. I think that's really important, because I don't think that's true with every single player that ends up coming to New York and playing for the Yankees. He wants the big moments, Ryan. Like, he is big moment Cam. I mean, I don't know if you heard how Bellinger described him when Bellinger got asked about him, and he said it's a slow heartbeat. Those guys that have slow heartbeats, that's Eli Manning in every big moment. Slow heartbeat. That was Cam Schlittler. That was Garrett Cole in big opportunities. It's like slow heartbeat, because the moment's not too big for me, because I signed up to play baseball for these moments, is essentially what he told us after the Boston series. He's now got another elimination game. While it's not fair, I'm excited because I like that he wants this moment.
Yeah, and some of the things we talked about with Cam Schlittler as a prospect. Cam Schlittler is someone who has always been known to be a competitive individual. There's an article that came out today on ESPN from Jorge Castillo, who is a beat writer and reports on the Yankees and New York sports teams for ESPN. And he talked about in a situation where he's pitching in college. And this is back when he was in Walpole. He was hearing some chirping about his girlfriend, and he said he was going to hit the next 3 guys. And he said, I just went out there and destroyed them. So, look, the Yankees are in a spot where they have someone who's been their best performing starting pitcher this postseason, their best performing starting pitcher over the last 2 months of the season in terms of reliability, effectiveness, underlying metrics. Like, Cam Schlittler has been the Yankees' ace essentially for 2.5 months. Now, whether that is, as you mentioned, something that is the start of a new era for the Yankee pitching staff, or just a fun hot streak that, ends up being maybe the peak of his career, one of the peaks of his career. That is something we have to find out. I don't think this start will define him. I don't think this start should define him. But it's hard for you not to feel like it could. Cam Schlittler, since August 1st, is 13th in Major League Baseball in Fangraphs WAR. He is 7th in ERA. In terms of FIP, fielding independent pitching, he is 14th. In terms of strikeout to walk rate, for those who are not aware, it's just strikeout percentage minus your walk percentage, 19.9%. That is 13th. He was number one, number two in basically every stat over that time span. And if you include the postseason, which I don't think is particularly fair because it's 1-2 start samples, and Cam Schlittler hasn't faced the Blue Jays, both Fried and Rodon have, and I'm not going to hold that against them and not say that it should be held against Cam if he stinks tonight. But you encapsulate all of it. Cam's been their best pitcher.
Bingo.
And, one thing I want to point out, kind of some pregame scouting that I was doing, last night and this morning, the Blue Jays, they rank in the bottom 10. They rank 25th in expected weighted on base average, which is ex-WOBA, 27th in actual WOBA, 29th in slugging percentage, and 28th in expected slugging percentage against right-handed cutters. So I wonder if the Blue Jays, they're going to have their lineup probably take out some of the guys who struggle in those situations, put some more guys who excel in those situations. And then the other stat I found interesting, the Blue Jays, they don't hit very well against high velo four-seam fastballs.
Four-seams.
They crush sinkers. But four-seamers, it's different. So one of their best high four-seam hitters was Bo Bichette. He's on the shelf. I think there's a lane for him to be better than where he was in the first two outings. I don't think it's going to be a high strikeout outing, but can it be, quick outs? First 3 pitches, can we get outs or get ahead in the count? It has to be one or the other if he wants to have success today.
I think so too. And like the third time, Cam did not have success his first 2 starts against Toronto, but he's a kid that I think learns really, really quickly. Like we saw him for the Seattle outing really learn. We saw him in each outing learn. And if Cam's going to get beat today, have them beat you in the zone on your best pitch. Go beat your best pitch, right? Like if they hammer the four-seam fastball today and it's hitting 99, 100, look, it's just kind of how it goes. But Cam Schiller's done a really good job missing barrels so far this year. And he believes that his last outing was about him tipping pitches. So there's no confidence worry that can he do it or not in this game. And to me, that's even better. I don't know if it was the tipping pitches last game, Ryan, but I don't want him to think that he was just getting shelled and had his best stuff. Like he feels like, okay, they only were hitting me because I was tipping my pitches. I'm a different pitcher now. That's taken care of. I'm still going to attack them with my best stuff because I know I'm a stuff monster. I think that's really important.
And, something I want to point out here is that Cam Schlittler is someone more than capable of sustaining the high velocity we saw in that start against the Red Sox. I think if he's sitting 99 miles per hour, we see him kind of average closer to 98. But if he's sitting 99, it's a 1 mile per hour uptick. He's going to be someone who can eviscerate any lineup. Like, velocity is such a key component to having success. Like, again, we talk about shape. We talk about, we talk about release angles, how it blends with your mix, all of that stuff. And yet velocity remains king. Velocity is king in terms of determining how effective a fastball will be. And that will always be the case, really, in my opinion, for as long as pitching is around. Like, you want to look at fastballs under 90 miles per hour, 525 slug, 301 average, 90 to 91, 293 average, 520 slug, 92 to 93, 275 average, 466 slug, 94 to 95, 260 average, 433 slug, 96 to 97, 241 average, 401 slug, 98 to 99, 208, 333 for the average and slug. It's that simple. You throw hard like Cam Schlittler, you're going to miss bats, you're going to have a low average against, and you're not going to give up damage contact. It's that simple. Slow fastballs get crushed. Good fastballs don't. And good fastballs tend to have good velocity. If you look at like the guys who are outliers in this, Nestor had a good fastball despite not having good velocity. How many great years does he have? How high did he peak? Think of like the slowest throwers in this league who are peaking as like a Cy Young caliber pitcher right now.
I think the only one I think of that doesn't have the fastball velo is Michael King. That's the only one I can think of personally.
And Michael King, we're like Michael King, number one, outlier, a lot of outlier traits there.
Yeah,
and number two,
outlier arm angle too.
Yeah, and number two, it's 1 year being an ace. Like
right.
him and Nestor's peaks aren't dramatically different. You know what I mean? In terms of where they peaked as a starting pitcher, in terms of best year versus best year. You look at the top guys in wins above replacement this year among starting pitchers, all of them throw hard. Skubal, Skeens, Sanchez, Crochet. Webb is probably the slowest thrower in this group, 92.7. And he's another, like, that's just the weirdest arm angle, sinker guy. Point is, again, velo is king. It is. And I think that's where we're at with Cam Schlittler and why he could be successful today.
Bingo. We got to go beat the bullpen today.
Yeah, we have to. The Yankee bullpen is looking like it's in good shape, but the Blue Jay bullpen, it was used yesterday. I know the Yankees used their bullpen a good bit yesterday as well, but the Yankees have a traditional starter going. The Blue Jays don't. Chris, I mean, how important is it for the Yankees to score early and often in this kind of game?
I guess, so they're starting you Savage today, right?
They're starting Louis Varland. They're going Louis Varland.
Varland,
Savage is more likely to pitch than
Varland. They're starting Varland today.
Yes.
So are they doing that to try to get Boone to load up on lefties?
I believe the game plan there was throw him out so they can use Eric Lauer, because they've used this kind of strategy before. In fact, I think it was against Tampa Bay. They rolled out a bullpen game and they won that.
I was going to say Eric Lauer, someone I'm super familiar with randomly. He's from my area.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to Kent State. He's part of the Kent State pitching factory. That's where Tom Hamilton, the announcer, sent his kids. That's like the best pitching school up here. I think he's from Euclid actually too, but I don't know. So Eric Lauer, I think, is who we're going to see for the bulk. I think the stuff with Gausman is some showmanship.
Yeah, I think Savage and Gausman are if they're winning or if it's tied.
Okay.
I'd be stunned if they use Savage in a game where they're down 3 runs in like the 6th inning.
Yeah, because you don't want to burn him for.
Right, that'd be so weird. And Gausman's definitely not pitching in that kind of spot, especially knowing how effective they are, knowing what happened last time the Yankees faced Gausman. I mean, the last 2 times the Yankees have faced Gausman, Yankee Stadium, he crushed them. And then in the postseason, he didn't get a ton of whiffs. He didn't strike out a bunch of dudes, but the Yankees didn't know what they were doing, basically, with their swing decisions. Savage annihilated the Yankees. That wasn't they didn't even strike out against him. He annihilated them. So Lauer's going to be the bulk guy, and it'll be Varland starting. Now, that kind of led to a decision where Aaron Boone's going with Paul Goldschmidt over Ben Rice. Chris, immediate thoughts on going with Paul Goldschmidt to start at first base over Ben Rice?
I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it if Lauer's going to get the bulk of it, and then you save Ben Rice for a pinch hit situation late if you need him. I am okay with that, because I think this team should tattoo Lauer, right? Like, I don't think Lauer is very good, dog. I don't know where you're at. I do not think he's very good. All of his expected numbers are horrendous. He's not a guy that throws particularly hard. I mean, right now, here we go. His fastball velo 91.7. So this isn't going to be a guy who carves out and strikes out the Yankees lineup. Yeah,
the Yankees need to be able to, number one, he's more of like a called strikeout pitcher. And that's fundamentally different than a high whiff guy. If the Yankees have good swing decisions today, they should be able to get to Lauer. And we talk about the offense needing to be the offense. Eric Lauer isn't a complete bum. I'm not going to pretend he's like
not a complete bum.
Stroman or Carlos Carrasco, but he is not someone who should beat you in this type of environment. A postseason environment is one where pitchers like Lauer should get crushed. And when the Yankees faced him, they dropped 3 runs on him in 4 batters faced. I need to see that again.
Yeah.
I need to see that kind of production again, because Lauer, again, he's not a complete bum, but he doesn't have overpowering stuff. And the Yankee offense, when we're talking about being when you hold the title of most runs scored, most home runs hit, highest OPS plus, all of those things, you need, if Paul Skeens is on the mound, we can have a conversation about, okay, well, this guy's going to shut them down. Garrett Crochet, Tariq Skubal, those kinds of guys. Those aren't Eric Lauer, Louis Varland. If those guys shut you down, that's a failure. That isn't well, what are you going to do? That's a failure. Now, these guys could be dominant. These guys could have their A game. These guys can bring out more velo or have better command or sharper command than usual. But again, Lauer, a lot of pulled fly balls in the air, more of a command guy. He was in the 36th percentile in whiff rate, 25th percentile in chase rate. Command the zone, control the zone, attack in the zone. It's going to come down to that.
And 14th percentile on average exit velo. He gets hit hard, dude, and also doesn't force ground balls. 4th percentile on ground balls.
I think a 10.2% home run per to fly ball rate isn't hilariously unsustainable, but I think Yankee Stadium isn't a great ballpark for someone who has a 1.29 home run per 9 rate and is then coming over to Yankee Stadium. Something I wanted to point out, he's obviously better against lefties than he is against righties. Righties tend to generate a lot of slug against them. That is pretty typical. You would expect that.
Which is why you're okay with Goldschmidt in there.
Right. But Lauer was someone who got off to a great start and then cooled off from there. Lauer over his last, since August 27th has a 5.40 ERA. If you want to exclude that August outing because it was especially atrocious, it's a better ERA of 3. But then you factor in the last time he pitched against the Yankees, he gave up 3 runs. That is 12 in the third innings, 7 earned runs. So not a particularly like guy who's red hot going into the postseason. More of someone who's like hot start, needs to kind of figure it out on the fly, and you hope the Yankees don't give him something to figure out. I think is the best way to put it.
Bingo. I'm fully prepared for another slugfest. I'm seeing how these games are going today, Ryan, and I am geared up thinking that it's going to take 5 or more runs to win this game. I think this is going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, I firmly believe that the New York Yankees are going to I'm not going to lie. The number I was at to like say, okay, this is the number you say. Like you could pick how many runs the Yankees score, and you have to pick the lowest number total to win the game, or like to guarantee
6.
a win. I said 8. My brain was like 8.
Okay,
that's how 6. Like I think 6 is a reasonable number. I don't like. Also, the gap between 2 runs, realistically, here, like we're split.
Well, when you get
like
up past 5, the gap means less.
Right, we're at +5. We're at over 5.
Yeah.
I think that kind of gives you the perspective of like where we think the Blue Jay offense is. Vlad is someone who's going to just be a pain up your what, even though he has struggled against high velo 4-seamers. The issue I have with like saying that about Vlad is that he is such a good hitter that like even that weakness, like you go, okay, well, what's it like over his career? Has he hit those kinds of pitches before? Yes, he has. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it against the Yankees. I've seen him do it against Garrett Cole. I've seen him do it against Jonathan Loaizaga. He's capable of hitting those pitches. So that scares me. It scares me. He scares me. I mean, he's terrifying. No, and he's got to watch.
He scares you, and so you can't walk the batter in front of him.
Yeah, I don't care I don't care who it is. You can't walk him. I don't care who it is. If it's like, well, I fell down 2-0, that's the problem. That's a problem then. You shouldn't fall. Like, I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear any defenses of walks of a guy right in front of Vlad. I know that Rodon got hosed yesterday on a call. I get that. But he had more. It wasn't a 3-2 pitch that he was hosed on. He was hosed on a 1-2 pitch that became 2-2. That means he had 2 chances to throw a strike. That's on you. That's not on the umpire. That's on you, Papa. Can't walk the guy in front of Vlad. Today it's Nathan Lucas, against in front of Vlad. Nathan Lucas is like a guy who the name you don't really know, but the production has been there. Like he's hit this year. And the Blue Jays have a lot of guys who have been like, oh, I don't know who that guy is, but they've hit. Nathan Lucas this year, he has a 255 average or 323 on base, 407 slug. It's not overpowering offensive numbers, but when you look at his numbers against right-handed pitching, they're better. That average climbs to 257, and the on base to 320. His career numbers 266, 334, 21, a 109 WRC plus. Not a power guy, not going to hit 50 home runs off you, but he's also not like who cares? He's just, like I don't care that he's in the lineup. He's a good hitter. He's a good enough hitter that you have to be conscious when you're pitching to him. But it's Springer, it's Lucas, but Lucas isn't a good enough hitter to not to walk.
Mingo, like if you're thinking about going after one of those 3, it's obviously Lucas,
right? And
like, I'm surprised they wouldn't bump Vladdy up one.
I was kind of stunned that Varsho wasn't hitting. Like, I'm stunned they've never tried to put Varsho higher in the lineup, considering he can hit the home run ball. And if you put him in a situation where you have pitchers that are going to throw to him, But again, I'm not a manager.
Or Barger too. Like you could put either one of those in.
Barger's a really good high velo hitter. He's got crazy good bat speed. He's one of those guys where like he slumped towards the end of the year. Like he didn't finish strong, but good underlying numbers. Again, I say he didn't finish strong. He still put up a 107. He matched his season WRC plus from September 7th onwards. He's got crazy good power. He can take the ball at the yard really at any moment. His bugaboo seems to be chasing. He's very swing happy.
Bingo. Got
to get ahead early. Like if you can get that first pitch fastball, that first pitch strike and get ahead 0-1, then you got to put him in. Then you're going to have him in swing mode. He's got a big fast swing. Yankees and Cam Schlittler has to be aware of he has to be careful to not get ambushed, but he also has to trust his stuff. It's a very tough line to tiptoe through,
Yeah, that's the ambush guy. Like he'll ambush you. He'll ambush Cam.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously Springer had juice in the bat. Kirk is a complete pest. He's a high average hitter who doesn't strike out and can hit the ball out the yard, as we've seen in this series. I think he has a multi-home run game against the Yankees. Hit 15 of them this year in 130 games and hit 282, 348 on base. Elite defensive catcher. He's a great player. Like Alejandro Kirk, to his credit, has become an excellent baseball player. You can joke about his weight. You can say he looks like a bowling ball. Well, that bowling ball is a 5-win catcher this year. So I'd rather a 5-win catcher who looks like a bowling ball than I don't know, Arnold Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's hitting, and he's a 2-win player.
And he's gotten kind of unlucky. Well, I guess the X slug is really unlucky, more to do with his speed. But he hits the ball better than his slugging suggests.
But he's got such good bat to ball, and he hits the ball hard. His barrel rate 10.1%. He's also not like a ground ball machine. It's a 44.2%. It's not. That's definitely higher than average, but it's not by a margin that you go, yeah, you're going to turn 2 every time he's up. That was the case before. Like, he would just hit ground balls, and you can just kind of go, all right, don't be afraid to pitch to him. Now it's like, dude, he's going to hit. He could hit. I mean, if he was playing in a league that wasn't so average depressed, like the obviously the average batting average has dropped because velo and all that stuff. If he was playing in like 2005, this guy's hitting 330. Like,
I mean, Ryan,
here are the 340 maybe.
Here are the things that he's 90th percentile or higher than. People don't realize it. Like K percentage, squared up percentage, hard hit percentage, and X batting average, all above the 90th percentile. Like, he does not get talked about enough for like as good of a hitter he is. Because honestly, he's too fun to make fun of.
Yeah, he's got such crazy bat to ball, and he's a phenomenal dude. He's a phenomenal defender, defender. Like, he is 22 fielding run value this year, 17 last year. I mean, just a freak of nature. Again, kind of, if he wasn't a Blue Jay,
he might to call him a freak of nature. It's just funny.
It's so funny that like Fangraphs, like the prospect write up is like he's a human bowling ball. But like if he wasn't a Blue Jay, I think he'd be one of my like 10 favorite players in this league. The guy's 5'6". He is shaped like a bowling ball, and he is one of the best defensive players in the entire sport. I love this dumb sport, man. I love this sport. Anywho, with kind of talking about threats on offense, we know the Blue Jays got hitters, but the Yankees have Superman. Are we seeing a sequel tonight? Because look, Lauer is someone who is not a good matchup for Aaron Judge from the Blue Jays standpoint. I have to look up Lauer's numbers versus Aaron Judge. I'm going to pull them up for you guys right now.
I know what Varland's numbers against Judge are.
I'm
3 for 6 with 3 home runs, and we're going to get at least 1 at bat. Do you think they're going to walk him off the rip?
Honestly, they might. I just don't think they'll challenge him. You know?
Well, I mean, they challenged him yesterday, and it did not go well.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because you could say, like, did Varland really challenge Aaron Judge on 0-2?
I don't think. Here we go. But Ryan, the other part of it is how many 0-2 pitches are you going to get for strikes anyway?
No, that's a good point. I'm just saying, like, I feel like Varland threw a good pitch there. If you told me Judge's going to get a fastball in on his hands, off the plate, and he's going to swing at it, I'm like, damn it, right? Like, if you just like, he's going to strike out here, or he's going to hit a ground ball or pop out. That's literally like, that has never happened. No one's ever hit a home run off that type of pitch before. So I
do think though the at bat was challenging Judge. Like,
the 0-1 pitch was a horrible pitch. That was 100 down the middle.
Well, the 0-1 pitch, I don't think you can catch up to this.
Yeah, and but that's velo for you. You know, like that's velo is such a big factor that can be a factor in this kind of situation. I think Aaron Judge never faced Eric Lauer. I don't know if that's true. I can't find his numbers against. I don't believe he's ever faced Aaron Judge. Like, I think that might be a thing. Let me double check though. But I know Paul Goldschmidt owns Eric Lauer. Like, that is he has owned him throughout his career. Aaron Judge has never faced Eric Lauer.
Yeah, never faced him.
But the guys in the Yankee lineup have a combined 70 at-bats with a 286, 367, 543 slash 910 OPS in their careers against Lauer. How has Volpe faced Lauer and not Judge?
I don't know.
Well, you know what it probably is? Like, why would you ever let Eric Lauer face Aaron Judge?
You know who's tattooed Lauer looks like?
Who?
Ryan McMahon.
Yeah, he's gotten to him. So is Trent. Belly has gotten to him. He has a home run in 22 at-bats and 6 hits. You know, I want you to guess. I was going to say he has a hit off him. Paul Blackburn has 2 at-bats against him. Wow. Shout out Paul Blackburn, dude. Living legend. But yeah, dude, I mean, the Yankees have enough right-handed power, I think, to get to Lauer. Judge is a big threat for that. Judge is someone who Lauer hasn't faced before. I think that's going to help Judge, honestly. It's a profile that Judge performs well against. We talked about this against lefties before. Aaron Judge is the greatest hitter against left-handed pitching in baseball, bar none.
Yeah.
Bar none. It's not close, folks. It's not close. He's that good. That good. Went 2 for 4 in a game where he faced Crochet and Chapman, and that's it. He's that good, folks. He's that good against lefties. Well, in general, but against lefties, he's even better. It trumps his numbers against righties, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, you have to look, Aaron Judge. I think the Yankees can win this baseball game if Aaron Judge doesn't hit, a 3-run home run and has 4 RBIs and is involved in like 6 of their runs. But I do think he needs to perform just to have guys on base. Performing to me is even like, hey, Lauer, the Blue Jays are like, we're not letting you kill us. You're going to take a bunch of walks. Cool. That just puts the pressure on everyone else. That's fine. They should be able to perform. If they don't perform, that's on them, right? Like if Judge is on base and he doesn't get a pitch to take out of the yard, but he's on base constantly, that's on everyone else at that point, man.
Mhm.
It just is. It just is. Like this is a do or die game as long as the game is somewhat close. Honestly, it doesn't even matter if the game is somewhat close. If the game is being played, every at bat he takes is insane levels of magnitude. It was crazy. Like before the game was tied, I was like, you can exonerate Aaron Judge from this series. He's at the RBI double, picked up a single. Like this point, like the Yankees have not given him a chance to make an impact outside of that one at bat against Gausman, and I don't think that was going to change the series based on what we thought was going to happen when they were down 6-1. He got another chance and he changed the entire game. So, look, if you don't think he's had impact at this point, and I've been very vocally critical of him when he's not impactful. I have. I think that is an important thing to do as an honest conversationalist about the Yankees. But he showed up. He showed up. I don't need 4 home runs and 50 RBIs today. I need get on base if they don't give you any pitch to hit. And if they give you a pitch to hit and you crush it, you're going to win this baseball game, I think.
Honestly, I need something from Cody Bellinger today because I am operating under the assumption that the Blue Jays are going to repeatedly put Aaron Judge on base because if they're going to go to a game 5, they don't want it to be because of Aaron. They want it to be because of Cody. I think that's a fair strategy, right? Like if in every sport, what do? You take out a team's number 1 option and let's see if their number 2 can beat you. Every sport, basketball, football, and here, this is a chance again. And we know the profile of, Varland struggled against Judge, and so is Eric Lauer. So it's like, I'm going to make Cody Bellinger beat me. I'm going to make Giancarlo Stanton beat me. They're 2 really, really good players. They're not the chosen one.
Yeah. And I also say this, we talk about, like you need your number 2s, your number 3s to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Stan needs to show up because he's going to get chances to make an impact unless the Yankees get smoked pitching wise in this game and they don't have competitive at bats. Boo needs to be aggressive with his bullpen just because the scenario that happened yesterday with Rodon cannot happen today. You have an off day. I don't care. You need to have your bullpen up and going and ready to go if there's any semblance of trouble. But pertaining to the offense, look at, again, I'm going to point to the 2017 ALDS because that is the most recent version of a comeback we've seen for the Yankees in this regard. Didi Gregorius hit 2 home runs in game 5.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Judge didn't hit 2 home runs. Granted, Gary Sanchez didn't hit 2 home runs. Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge had terrible series. Aaron Judge had a 308 OPS. Gary Sanchez had a 609 OPS. They stunk in this series.
They're bad.
But their best guys, or their number 2 showed up. Hicks showed up, 4 RBIs, a home run, 876 OPS. Bird showed up, a 919 OPS, a dramatic home run against Andrew Miller, 2 total home runs in the series, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Point is, these guys, you looked at your number 2s and you said, please, somebody, please, somebody, because we don't have our number 1s firing. I think the difference is your number 1s, Judge wasn't getting on base in that series, 208 on base. He had 1 hit all series and no RBI and 2 RBIs, no home runs, 16 strikeouts. We got it. You're no Judge is going to get on base today. I'd be stunned if he drops an offer. I am feeling good about his ability to pick up at least a hit or get on base multiple times.
Bingo.
Stanton, what do you got for me? Belly, what do you got for me? Because I'm going to be honest, I think Bellinger, if he doesn't do it this postseason, it's good. There's not going to be that overwhelming fan sentiment. We love this guy, bring him back.
Bingo.
And the Yankees, if they get knocked out, I don't think your mentality can be bring back the same pieces, try to run it back. I think in your head, you got to go, dude, how much time we have left? I think for everyone on this team, if you want to stay together, if you want to see the guy next to you be on the team next year, you got to show up.
Today's the day. You got to show up.
Yeah, you just do. You just do. Because if not, the free agents who are free agents, I'd be stunned if more than 2 of them come back. I'd even say more than 2. Because my numbers are Bellinger and Williams, the only guys I'd consider bringing back. Everyone else can go.
Yeah.
Do you want to increase that number or is that number going to decrease? Because we're one bad game from Bellinger and elimination away from, I think I just want Devin back and let's go get Kyle Tucker. That's going to be the front office mindset. So for these players, you want to play another day, you want to see these guys another day, got to win tonight. And you got to make it 4-0. Yankees are 3-0 when facing elimination this postseason. Got to make it 4-0. You're going to have to make it 5-0 eventually, but you can't make it 5-0 without going 4-0 first. So, Chris, is there anything you want to add on as The hour strikes 7 o'clock, and we
No,
are
sir.
7
Let's
minutes
go
away.
get it.
Yeah, I agree. Look, Cam Schlittler, he's gonna have to give the Yankees a chance. It doesn't have to be the best start in the world. It doesn't have to be H. Shuddy, but you have to give your team a chance. If you don't give the Yankees a chance, they're gonna lose this baseball game. That simple. There's no offensive player you can look at and go, well, if they did this, no. If he shows up, if he gives them a chance to win, that's step one. Then step two, if Cam Schlittler gives you a chance to win. Have to win. If you are within 3 runs, if they only score 3 runs against Schlittler, and let's say they add another against the bullpen, you need to win that baseball game. Point blank, it's simple. If you give up 4 runs today and you lose, embarrassing. Offense, all on the offense. And the only guy I'll exonerate is Aaron Judge.
Yep.
It's that simple. That's simple. Everyone else can get a share of the blame. Obviously, the starters will get some blame. But look, the Yankees have a 16.88 ERA from their starters. Can that change? Is that sustainable? I don't think that number is sustainable, Chris. I just don't. So, hey, I'm looking at Cam Schlittler. Cam Schlittler, you've been our best pitcher for 3 months now. 3 months. You've been the best pitcher on the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees who won 94 games, tying for the most wins in the American League. The New York Yankees who are 2 wins away from advancing to the American League Championship Series. The New York Yankees who have invested $162 million in Carlos Rodon and a record-setting $218 million in Max Fried. You have been the ace of this staff for 3 months with all of those conditions. You were called up because Clark Schmidt tore his UCL in Toronto. You came in and you had to take beatings against the Astros, the Blue Jays. You had to pitch in these games. When the Yankees couldn't get anything going, you were the only sense of consistency in this rotation. When the Yankees faced elimination in Game 3, they turned to you. When we face elimination today again, we turn to you. Can you deliver? I'm not going to let this be a start where he sucks and I go back and I say he's not good enough, he's not made for the moment. But this is a start where if he succeeds, if he dominates, if he does a job, Chris, he's my number 1 going into 2026 with Garrett Cole out. If he does a job, he has been the number 1 for 3 months. Yeah. Can you give me one more? Can you give me one more? One more. Give me one freaking more. Give me one more pregame. Give me one more postgame. Give me one more. Give Aaron Judge another game. Give Stan another game. Give Bellinger another game. Give Fried a chance to make me walk back that statement and say, well, hold on a minute. Max Fried's the number 1. All of this, unfortunately, has to ride on the rookie's shoulders. But it rode on a rookie's shoulders a week ago, and the Yankees sent the Red Sox to Cancun. So I feel like they have a chance. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they have a chance.
Definitely.
We're going to wrap things up here, Chris. I think that's the way we wrap it up.
I'm fired up, man. If I was Cam, I would go give you 9 shutout right now listening to that.
Let's do it. Look, I'm really upset no Blue Jay podcast was insensitive enough to make a comment about his family. Come on, guys. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing, man? No one, nobody could have said something
Not
rude.
One troll.
Come on, man. No, I got to say, I'll talk about this with you after, but there's a lot of reverence from very smart Blue Jay people who aren't poking the bear. But thank you guys again for tuning in. Look, the Yankees play in 4 minutes. Sit down, buckle up. I don't eat during games. I can't. I'll throw up. So if you can, get some popcorn, have some water. It's going to be a very bumpy 4-hour road, even if they're winning. If they're losing, it's obviously going to be bumpy. But we'll be right here after the game, no matter what, to talk about it, win or lose. Hopefully we talk about a win. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, this YouTube page at Fireside Yankees. Personal Twitter accounts at Ryan Garcia, ESM, my man Chris at Christopher Drew _. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your evening for 3 hours, basically. We'll see you tonight.